They tell us to work hard, to dream big. That success is just around the corner if you try hard enough. But what if the system was never designed for you to win? What if the promise of meritocracy, that your efforts will be fairly rewarded, is not just broken, but was always a lie? This is not just a story of inequality. This is the anatomy of an illusion, carefully engineered to keep you striving while the game remains rigged. From ivy-covered universities to corporate boardrooms, from political campaigns to motivational speeches, the myth of meritocracy runs deep. It's the story we tell ourselves to make sense of the world and to justify the vast disparity of wealth and opportunity around us. But behind this story is something darker, a system that pretends to reward excellence, while in reality preserving power, legacy, and privilege. Today, we peel back the mask. The word meritocracy was coined not as praise, but as satire. In 1958, British sociologist Michael Young wrote a dystopian novel, The Rise of the Meritocracy, imagining a future where intelligence and effort alone determine social status. It was a warning, not a blueprint. But in the decades that followed, the elites adopted the term, twisting it into a justification for inequality. In post-war America, the GI Bill and expanding access to education gave rise to the dream that anyone could rise through hard work. But this was never universally true. Black veterans were systematically denied GI benefits. Ivy League schools remained bastions of inherited wealth. Equal opportunity was a phrase printed on posters, not embedded in policy. Meritocracy became a tool, a story that made the winners feel virtuous and the losers feel ashamed. It made poverty feel like a personal failure rather than a systemic outcome. In theory, everyone begins the race from the same starting line, but in practice, some are born halfway to the finish. Wealth buys private tutors, elite schools, legacy admissions, and unpaid internships. It buys second chances. It buys silence. When rules are broken, for most, failure has consequences. For the rich, it's a lesson, a story, a networking opportunity. In the US, children born into the top 10% have a 90% chance of staying there. Ivy League universities admit more students from the top 1% than the bottom 50% combined. SAT scores correlate more closely with family income than intelligence. And yet, society still praises these outcomes as earned. The lie isn't just that merit leads to success. It's that success is ever independent of privilege. The myth endures because it flatters those at the top. If merit is supposed to lift us up, why does poverty drag so many down, no matter how hard they try? The truth is, the system doesn't just reward the privileged. It actively punishes the poor. From predatory lending to substandard schools, from food deserts to wage theft, the playing field isn't just uneven. It's designed to break you. Poor students are more likely to attend underfunded schools with fewer resources and outdated materials. They're more likely to face suspension for minor offenses. They enter the job market with more debt, less support, and fewer connections. For them, merit is not enough. You cannot bootstrap your way out of a trap if the boots were never yours to begin with. In today's economy, productivity is up, but wages have stagnated. Profits soar while workers scramble. The system praises the ultra-rich as job creators, while the labor behind every fortune remains invisible. This is not a bug in meritocracy. It is the design. In a true meritocracy, innovation and talent would rise. But in our world, it's often exploitation and lobbying power that determine success. CEOs receive bonuses for layoffs. Hedge funds profit off foreclosures. The market rewards those who play it best, not those who create value, but those who extract it. In such a game, The scoreboard lies. The winners wrote the rules. So what now? If meritocracy is a lie, are we doomed to despair? No. The truth hurts, but it frees. When we see the system clearly, we stop blaming ourselves and start asking the right questions. Who benefits from the lie? Who keeps it alive? And what would a world built on true fairness look like? Real justice doesn't come from believing the game is fair. It comes from recognizing who rigged it and refusing to play by their rules. Around the world, movements are growing. Workers demanding equity, students rejecting debt traps, communities building power. The illusion is cracking, and the collapse? It might just be our only chance to build something better. This is the invisible. Collapse. Subscribe to uncover the stories they want you to forget.